Welcome back, nerds.
We're your hosts. I'm Chad.
And I'm Jake. This week, we're sponsored by Ray's Energy Drinks.
And Crybaby Craig's.
This week, we'll be talking about Jake's recent adventure out to Ohio.
We will also talk about X-Men Origins and continuing our theme of talking about those movies by request.
Yeah, so let's get into it.
This is the All Things Nerd podcast. I can't reach all the way over there.
That's fine. Wow. Nerd. So welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the All Things Nerd podcast, your weekly dive into all things nerd. So, Jake, it's been a good week. Well, I mean, it's been a week.
I did have fun.
No, it was a blast, but I mean, we ate like shit, and the food, for the most part, tasted like shit. So,
what we're referring to is that your boy here, me.
Oh, not me. Okay, weird.
No.
Awkward.
Okay, I went to Ohio, and we hung out, Chad and I. And let me tell you something, guys. Ohio fucking sucks dick.
We'll dive more into the lackluster that is the Buckeye State. Because, yeah, it was... we had a lot of fun, but there was some weird moments. Not between us, because, I mean, that... we don't have that kind of sexual tension. We just embrace it. But yeah, there's some lackluster things, like I mentioned, and some really shitty.
We'll get into it in a little bit.
Yeah, but first off, I mean, we did our live stream
at Fatheads Brewing.
At Fatheads Brewing in. I don't remember the exact town. It's just outside of Cleveland. It's like,
well, if you've seen one, you've seen them all when it comes to Ohio. I'll tell you that right now.
I liked Fatheads. I thought it was pretty cool. I doubt that the rest of the breweries are that cool based on the rest of our experiences. But we did our live stream. No place had like cool patios around, so we didn't get to play the games that we wanted to play, but we still did some trivia.
No, let's talk about fucking the first bar before Fatheads that we were gonna do the live stream from, and what we discovered when in our search of other bars.
Yeah, this place looked cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Giant patio, like sand volleyball pits.
Yeah.
On their website, it said that they did like cornhole leagues on their website. So we're like, oh, so they'll have cornhole, or if you're not familiar with what cornhole is, bags.
Bags. If you're from Minnesota, it's bags.
Well, it depends on what part of Minnesota. I'm from Minnesota. I call it cornhole, bitch.
That's because you're a bitch. Bitch.
I love you, bitch.
Bitch. You said that though?
Yeah.
You actually said bitch?
Yeah, I was like, bitch.
It would have been a very cool bar.
Yeah, they had like swings on one side of the bar. It looked very trendy, but it was 100% a biker bar.
So this is what I referred to it when I was like, Chad, this is what this bar reminds me of, is the part in Elf, the movie Elf with Will Ferrell, when he goes down to the mailroom of his dad's company, and he's like, this is just like Santa's workshop, except it smells like mushrooms and everybody looks like they want to kill me. Like, from the moment we walked into that bar and sat down, I was just like, This is not comfortable.
Yeah. We got some
These,
weird stairs, and that was before we set up any sort of like
yeah.
live stream equipment. Because I guess it's weird for a white guy and a half brown guy to be together at that bar.
To be fair, I think I was one of the only colored people I saw, and that was when I
Outside
was
of
in
the
mirror.
main brewery that we hung out
Yeah.
at.
Yes, there were
Yeah.
some fellow melatonin, not melatonin. Jesus.
Melanin?
Oh man. Yeah.
Some
Melatonin.
fellow sleepy people.
Oh god. Yes.
I mean, in Ohio,
so-
all you can do is sleep and drink, really.
But in our
Sorry,
search
Mom.
in our search for another bar to go to, and I shit you fucking not, this is the name of this bar.
Well, let's just
And
shit
I-
on Ohio for a little bit, and then after we come
No.
back from our
No,
first...
I'm already talking about it.
I know,
I'm
so
already
we're going to
talking
shit
about
on Ohio, and then when we come back from our first sponsor break, then we'll talk about the live stream.
it. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I want to talk about the name of that fucking bar.
Yeah, and we'll just keep shitting on Ohio, because I'm all for it.
Then why'd you interrupt me? Because that's what I was doing.
Well, because I was just saying, hey, let's rearrange our episode structure that we wrote down literally like a half hour ago. Just so that we're on the same page. Keep going. Keep shitting on this bar. So you Google searched.
We Google searched a bar that we could go to because this bar made us uncomfortable. And I shit you not, this is the name of this actual bar. It was called Ape Hangers Saloon. Ape Hangers.
Like, how the
Saloon.
fuck is that a thing that still exists?
On fucking real. And so we tap on the website. At this point, we're absolutely not going here. This is fucking ridiculous.
But we wanted to see if it was like a, hey, they're just super unaware that they
yeah.
have a terrible
Yeah.
name.
Maybe it was just like some ma and pa that were like, we just don't fucking know. You know? No, it's a total biker bar. Just a bunch of racist
Like an
fucking...
Aryan biker
Yeah.
bar.
It was unbelievable.
I don't know how this shit exists.
Yeah, it was crazy. So that's Ohio.
Yeah. Also, let's talk about the food since we're just shitting on it.
The food was garbage.
So first off, no one's gonna get a chance to answer this like live on the episode, but so let's take a break, okay? If you are someone that enjoys a Bloody Mary, when you think of a Bloody Mary,
Especially being my first drink that I had when I fucking got there. Because Chad picked me up from the airport, and I was like, "Hey, man!" It was at that point. It was like 11.
it was like like lunchtime, just about.
And I'm like, let's go get some food, and I'm craving a Bloody Mary. Let's go get a Bloody Mary, and then go ahead.
Yeah, so first off, we went to kind of like a hoity-toity area where it has like, a little bit more of like upscale bars, some like shopping and stuff like that. A lot of like, it's like if a strip mall could span like a 6 square block area.
It was the uptown of Ohio.
The uptown meets the West End meets not knowing how to make a Bloody Mary in Ohio. But when you think of a Bloody Mary, you think of like spices, vodka, tomato juice, fucking garnish.
Like at the
Like
bare minimum, a piece of fucking celery.
A piece of celery, an olive, and a pickle spear at the bare minimum.
Bare minimum.
They brought us they brought us vodka with tomato juice, not even a Bloody Mary mix, just straight tomato juice and cracked black pepper. And we asked for spicy bloodies. And we're like, hey, can we get some hot sauce? And they're like, oh, we put stuff in it already. And I was like, pepper is not spicy. Like, first off, you're wrong. And then we're like, no, can we please get like some hot sauce to add to it? Because we like our bloodies really spicy. Like, we're trying to be polite.
Yeah. What'd she come back with, Chad?
The server disappeared for like 10 minutes. So like, we're just like letting our already gross bloodies get more and more watered down.
Yeah.
Because we sat out on the patio because it was great weather out there. And she came back with a bottle of Tabasco sauce. I was like, I looked everywhere. This is the only hot sauce I could find. So you think of like a whole bottle of bloody. I'm doing a visual representation for those on YouTube, and she literally came back. It was like
a quarter of an inch.
Yeah, not even.
Or no, like a half inch. It was probably like a half inch.
It was
in
like
a Tabasco
2
bottle.
tablespoons worth of hot sauce.
If I wasn't a good friend, I would have used all that damn hot sauce in my fucking bloody alone.
It wouldn't have saved it. It was so bland and just like
god awful.
And literally every place that we went to, because like now we had Bloody Marys on our mind. Every place we went to, we're like, "How do you make your bloodies?" And they're like, "Oh, just like mix and vodka." And I was like,
"Do you guys like put anything in it, like fancy shit?" And they're like, "No, we don't do that here." Oh, okay.
Like everywhere we went,
you all are just a fucking salt and pepper kind of state.
Yeah, that's like all ketchup is spicy out here, I guess.
Yeah, just fucking.
The wind blows slightly too hard from the west, and you're like, "Oh, that's spicy."
The French fries at that place, man.
I've seen cooked spaghetti with more shape and firm.
Dude, they were literally fucking spaghetti noodles. These French fries, you could pick them up off the plate. They had so much grease on them and wiggle them, and they moved like a fucking spaghetti noodle. It was. And this is at the fancy restaurant. This is at the fancy restaurant that we went to.
Yeah.
This wasn't like a fucking hole-in-the-wall bar. This was like the uppity fucking cake eater place to go in fucking Ohio. And that's the best you guys could do? Fuck Ohio, man. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's fine, because I ordered Nashville hot chicken sliders. First off, Nashville hot chicken is supposed to be spicy. It's supposed to have... Frank's Red Hot was spicier. Frank's Red Hot is less than your standard buffalo sauce. Like, what the fuck? Like, how do you mess this up? Also, it was like the chicken fillet, whatever they want to call it. It was like they basically bought McDonald's chicken nuggets, dipped it in extra breading so it looked a little bit crispier, and then put it on a bun that was twice its size. It's like...
That's bad.
So then we went to another bar and got cheese curds literally across the street. And granted, we're both from Minnesota. We grew up with the state fair. We grew up with Wisconsin right next to us. So I get that we're a little bit spoiled with cheese curds, but these were gross.
The drinks were amazing.
The drinks there were amazing.
We had an old fashioned, and it was fucking phenomenal.
Just balls to the wall, delicious.
The food was garbage.
We were
and there was like
hungry.
there was a fucking weird. There's like a dude and his wife and their like daughter that were sitting at the table next to us, and it was like the most awkward fucking like basically. If any of you have ever seen the movie Waiting with Ryan Reynolds and Justin Long, there's a part in there where like the guy is like a guy comes in with his wife and it's their anniversary, and he's like, "Oh, have a beer," and she'll take a water, and he goes, "Well, hell, it's our anniversary. Get her a Diet Coke." That was this guy. He was literally wearing like a Bass Pro Shop mesh hat that was like too big for his head.
And just ordering like the I don't approve of the shape of my significant other, so I'm gonna order for her and get her low calorie bullshit.
Yeah.
And it was we literally like sat at the table and were like cringing because it was so just it was also just like heartbreaking. Like how do you treat someone like that?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Douche.
Literally the best food that we got was at like a random hole in the wall diner that had like 10 tables
for breakfast
the next day.
Oh my god.
It was so good.
So good. Yeah. I ordered fucking hash browns and people are like, this is a nerd podcast. Why the fuck are we talking about this guy's breakfast? Because we ran out of shit to talk about until Loki comes out. That's fucking why.
Yep,
And
possibly.
these pancakes were for visual representation for people who can see this on YouTube.
Watch us on YouTube, guys. Please.
This big around. For those of you not watching this on YouTube, it's like the rag that you like dry your hands with.
Yeah, it was like the size of
kitchen.
of a hand table, but you just kind of like round the corners slightly.
And I'm not complaining, but it was just so much fucking pancake that I just didn't know what to. I ate as much as I could, but it was just insane. And the food was fucking bomb. That place was the best food that we had, hands down for sure. Yeah.
Hands down, it was so good.
but we ordered pizza, and I mean, if you took a piece of toast and spread some ketchup on it and melted some cheese on it in the microwave, that's what we fucking had for pizza. It was so bad.
Well, so
what are you doing, Ohio?
On that note, it was the only place that delivered past 9 o'clock at night on Saturday, which was weird to begin with, because like you're a pizza shop, like people order pizza late at night. Like, that's a thing in the world. Yeah, well, the rest of the world, like, that's what you do. And so, like, we tried 3 different, like, very, very local places. And they're all like, yeah, we'll have it to you between 11 a.m. and noon 30 tomorrow. And it's like, what?
The 13-hour wait time. I do remember that.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. So I was like, okay, well, there's this place. It is still technically a chain, but like I've seen more out here than I've seen anywhere else in the world. If you guys are watching YouTube, Jake is taking a picture of his dog. I mean, totally understandable.
Is being so fucking adorable. Cute. Look at the picture. Look at the picture.
Yeah, she is adorable.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. And we ordered it, and it was just, we would have been better off ordering like Domino's pizza. Like, don't get me wrong. Domino's, when you order Domino's, it's like you order food from Applebee's or McDonald's. You know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
It's not the best. It's consistent, but it's not great by the standards set by that same food group based on regular restaurants. I didn't think that you could get worse than Domino's. So if you guys know, if you live in the Shakopee area of Minnesota, never order from Marco's Pizza. Because that's the only one in Minnesota that I know of. And that's where a lot of our listeners are. But don't. You might be like, oh, that looks interesting. It's not. Order from Domino's. You'll be more satisfied.
Let's, as much as I want to keep shitting on Ohio, let's move on.
Yeah. So, Jake, go ahead and tell us about our first sponsor.
So our first sponsor is Crybaby Craig's. It's the best damn hot sauce around. Excuse me. Pickled habanero and garlic. It is great. Goes on practically anything. Check it out.
All right. Hey, you nerds. Do you love spice? Supporting small businesses? What about enhancing the flavor of your favorite foods? If you said yes to any of those, our good friends over at Crybaby Craig's have the perfect solution for you. Crybaby Craig's is a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes perfectly with your favorite foods, adding the perfect amount of spice and enhancing the flavor of everything it touches. Started in Minneapolis by Craig back in 2012, Crybaby Craig's has become a Minneapolis and Minnesota staple in the sauce world. So head over to crybabycraigs.com and order yours today.
Welcome back, guys. We want to talk a little bit about the obvious thing that maybe some of you aren't seeing because you're listening to the podcast, but if you were on YouTube, you would notice that Chad and I both have glorious mustaches right now.
Oh, the mustache.
And in reference to that, just to throw it out there, I don't want to be a jerk about it.
No, it's
Yes, I do.
fine. You're gonna be a jerk about it, so just embrace it.
I won. Chad lost. Uh,
Thank you for all of you that voted for either
yeah,
Team Chad or Team Jake, especially those that voted for Team
Team
Chad because
Jake.
it's kind of no the Team Chad voters because it's like rooting for the Cubs or the Vikings or the Twins or the Wild or really any Minnesota sport. Like you cheer for them, but it's a losing team.
Oh, but then like you cheer for me, who's also from Minnesota, and then you win.
Yeah,
Even
it's like
better.
rooting
It's
for
like
Tom
watching the
Brady.
Viking. It's like watching the Vikings win.
No, it's not the same. It's like rooting for Tom Brady. Like, yeah, this dude's gonna win, but I like him, so I'm gonna vote. I'm gonna root
No,
for him anyways.
well, hold on, hold the fuck
Maybe
up.
Patrick Mahomes.
Hold on. Did you just say you like Tom Brady?
I respect Tom Brady.
Get the fuck out of my house.
Okay, done.
That was fast.
Yeah, I'm still in Ohio.
Tom Brady can fucking get bent. Oh, he already does that.
Oh, sorry, Mom.
I'm not. uh, anyways, yeah. So we have these mustaches. Basically, what happened was the idea was to have one of us shave. But then we
Well,
decided.
let's take it back. So, the idea was to do a competition for your favorite host, but in honor of Mustache May, Jake won. Through, I'm gonna call it Mustache Gate instead of Deflate Gate. But he won. There were legitimate votes, but I'm sure that more than 7, which is
You
what he won by.
sound like a bit of a Trump supporter right now. It was rigged. I want to recount.
Uh, I don't think we alienated too many of our listeners with that, but probably a few. Yeah, no, it wasn't rigged, but you cannot deny that a handful of those people don't listen to the podcast. They only did it for you, which is fine. I'm not upset about it. I mean,
you seem kind of upset about it.
I have reasons, personal. But so Jake won, so he got to pick my mustache, which is why if you're watching right now, you see me curling this fucking ridiculous mustache, and now I'm gonna utter, "I'll be your Huckleberry." But Jake did decide to also shave, because, well, it's Mustache May, but May is also Mental Health Awareness Month. So we decided that Jake got to pick the shape of his stash, which is some bullshit.
I won.
He won, so it's not really bullshit. I'm just bitter. I'm just bitter. That's all that it is. But Mustache May also lines up with Mental Health Awareness Month. So by Jake shaving also, it wasn't that it was a cop-out to where your votes did not matter. Because they did. Because I didn't get to touch that beard. Otherwise, it'd be clean shaven around the rest of what he left. But so what we're going to do is we are going to be donating to the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. And we encourage you guys to do the same. Because, well, for me, as someone that has struggled with mental health and depression and anxiety since longer than I care to admit, it's an incredible resource for people that need help.
Yeah.
So,
and for me, I've lost people to suicide, and this is something that we both felt really pretty passionate about. So
and really drawn to.
yeah. So we'll put links up in the
Yeah, though
what
we'll have I mean, on our Facebook, we'll have links to where you can donate directly from the post. We'll provide a link in our link tree, which you can find on any of our social medias, as well as if you just want to go and donate on your own, you can. We're gonna set a goal, a very attainable goal, of $250, and we're gonna give to that as well.
Yeah.
So we're gonna contribute to that goal, but it's just something that we care about, something that affects us, and
Hopefully we exceed that goal. That'd be great.
I would really hope so. But even if we don't, as long as people give to it, it's a win.
What's $5, guys? You know,
Yeah.
we're not gonna get any of that. That's gonna be
No, we're gonna put links directly to the fundraiser.
that's just a charity that we chose.
Yeah.
So
we won't even know if you do or don't give.
yeah.
It's just it's an
Just do
important
it.
it's an important
Just
thing.
do it.
Just do it.
Yeah. That's a fucking
Do it.
yeah.
But on top of that, we had our live stream on Saturday when Jake was out here in Ohio. We went out to a brewery, which was pretty cool. It had the second best food, which I mean,
Oh yeah.
from
the
what we
buffalo cauliflower.
what we talked about, I mean, it wasn't that hard to get the second best, but it was actually delicious. It just wasn't the breakfast food.
It was good. The fries were good.
Their fries were
crunchy.
good.
Yeah.
We got
Buffalo cauliflower
cauliflower wings, which were phenomenal.
Yeah, those were good. It could have been spicier, but they were good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was dipping in their house-made spicy ranch, which was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we went to Fatheads Brewing. So also thanks to Fatheads for letting us
record.
Yeah, record there. We got a lot of weird looks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just from the people, not from the staff. I mean, they were totally cool about it, and we did a live stream. We did some trivia, both for listeners, and also we had a couple of random people as we're getting ready to record come up to us and talk to us and be like, yeah, just like come back later. We'll have some trivia. You can win some free shit.
Yeah, the first person literally went like this at us from across the bar.
Yeah, just look at me. Look at you. Look at me. Look at you.
Yeah.
Look at me. For those of you that aren't watching, I had to describe that hand.
It was fun. It was fun. We had a good time. The beer was good. Fatheads beer.
Yeah, it was
really
awesome.
Good.
It was also the only place that we ordered cocktails from that gave us any sort of garnish. Except for the old fashioned. But like anytime that we ordered like a whiskey cocktail that wasn't like
which is fucking weird because so they gave us a lime in the whiskey.
Which is how you're supposed to get it. We just got whiskey and Coke or bourbon and Coke.
But when we asked for a Bloody Mary there and asked if they did anything, they were like, nah. We don't do that. We don't do that here.
That's true, they didn't. Well, they probably didn't have like pickles and celery, but lime is supposed to go with whiskey. That's how Mountain Dew became a thing. Because it was soda water, sugar cubes, and lime. That's how Mountain Dew became a thing, because it was for moonshine. History fact, if you guys didn't know that, that's how Mountain Dew became a thing. And Jake is just jerking off Captain America in the background. Oh!
Well, anyways,
but then
why don't we...
after our live stream, we did... we were super... not fully spontaneous on our side, but maybe also not the most responsible. We stopped at a tattoo shop.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you might have seen as we're just talking, if you're watching it, we got the nerd logo from our podcast tattooed on us. We went to Lefty's Tattoo. So if you're wondering what kind of shirt Jake is wearing, he's wearing a Lefty's Tattoo shirt.
Hold up, let me get the back of it in there because it's dope.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh. You see it okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we went to a tattoo shop in Brunswick, which is it's the next town over from where I live. So we we tried a couple of tattoo shops before that, just seeing if they'd take walk-ins, and they were sketchy as fuck.
Fucking A. I
Weird.
mean, Ohio, dude. I just can't get over it.
If you want to just know how both of us feel about Ohio, just rewind the episode and start it over.
One of the tattoo shops was a house.
Yeah, it was
somebody's house.
They converted their living room into a tattoo shop with like one chair and pictures.
Which isn't that.
It looked cool, but
it was just like
you walk up to the front door and it's like go around back, and you go around back and there's a fucking vending machine and then it says, "Please be quiet coming in."
Yeah.
And please wear a mask, which is fine. Like, we had our mask, but just like they were like handwritten signs. Like, it didn't look that legit.
It was sketchy.
You walked in, it looked cool, but like we're like, "Hey, do you have room for a walk-in?" And he's like, "No."
Nah.
He's like, "Okay, bye."
Which was kind of the theme for a while, was walking into a shop.
Yeah, we checked out 3 shops. One of them was the fucking worst. There was 2 of us, and we're like, it was the first shop we went to, and we're like, "Hey, would you have time to do 2 walk-ins?" And the guy was like, "Depends on how big." And we're like, "Super small." And he's like, "Yeah, but only 1." And we're like, "Well, the first question was, do you have time to do 2?"
Yeah.
So like, just say no.
The white one.
He probably drove the motorcycle that was parked out back, and he probably goes to that Ape Hangers.
Yeah. Oh god.
I'm glad we didn't get tattooed there. I'm never gonna go there. But like, out of sheer luck, the 4th place we went to was like, it looked from
it was kind of our last.
It was like a hidden gem too, because it's like in a strip mall.
Yeah.
Next to like a fucking 5-minute tan place, and you walk in and you're like, this feels like a tattoo shop.
Yeah. Yeah, sweet. Yeah.
And the guy that hooks us up, his name is Mace. You check him up on check him out
Check him up.
Check him out on Instagram. It's
you got it pulled up?
Mace_tattooer on Instagram. Super awesome work. Super cool dude.
Cool guy.
Like, literally, we walked in and we're like, "Hey, like, we just really want to get like this small thing." We showed him what we wanted, and he was like, "Yeah, I could do that." He's like, "But I have people that are gonna be here, and they'll be here until like 6 or 6:30." And we're like, "This is Eastern time." And we're like, "Well, we're doing a live broadcast at 6, and it's gonna go for like an hour." He's like, "Come after that." And we're like, "Well, what time do you guys close?" And he's like, 8. And we're like,
he stayed late, basically.
He stayed like an hour late for us, and just like hung out with us. And the coolest part, in my opinion, of like the social interaction, is as we were leaving, he was like, "See you later, nerds," because we literally just got like our logo, and he was super stoked that, you know, based on our logo. And
he also let us slap a sticker on his
toolbox or his ink box. Yeah,
that was badass.
Yeah, he was a super cool dude, and like the tattoos we got are super simple. Like, they don't really display like the talent that this dude has. But if you check him out on Instagram,
check him out on Insta,
at just the Mace MASE_tattooer. He's incredible. He's got some awesome work. You know, before I leave Ohio, like, I want to go see him again. because I
You want
don't.
to get your butthole tattooed?
Yeah, just with
Yeah.
like a sunflower, so like if I don't
Yeah.
wipe well enough, it still looks like a sunflower. Sorry, mom. Oh, that's gross. I gross myself out with that joke.
Oh, that was funny.
But no, like his really
He's
talented,
really good.
and
He's
he's
really
a
good.
super laid back, awesome dude.
Yeah.
Like he'll just talk to you about anything. Like he didn't even realize that our logo was like modeled
Until-
after like
Marvel.
Marvel and like comics until after he had tattooed Jake and was tattooing me and was like, "Did you realize that this looks like the Marvel logo?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's designed that way." And he's like, "Badass." Like just a super chill dude. Like he's in it just for his love of art, and he's super laid back and cool. So if you guys are ever in the Medina, Brunswick, Strongsville area, or if you go just to Cleveland and you don't mind driving 20 minutes to see a super awesome tattoo artist, definitely check him out. Because, again, super satisfied and great pricing and just awesome art and just fun dude to talk to.
Cool guy, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's really it. We didn't have a whole lot to talk about. We got to just go on to our second sponsor before we close out the episode. So we're listen tight, guys. For the next little bit, we're going to talk about some Raise energy drinks. What's up, nerds? I wanted to take a minute and talk to you about Raise Energy, an incredible energy drink that provides max energy with zero crash. Raise Energy takes a giant leap of faith with instilling a high-quality formula to bring a powerful, yet sustained, energetic experience to help you push your workouts and focus to the next level. Perfect for anyone at any time, empowered by their Refresh formula technology, Raise Energy delivers a performance-enhancing energy drink that aids in multiple different categories that include targeted focus, better recovery time, improved clean energy levels, and a boost in stamina and hydration. But most importantly, every can of Raise Energy has absolutely 0 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 carbohydrates to give you a smarter and healthier option. So don't settle for an energy drink that contains more sugar and carbohydrates than you can count. Instead, head over to repsports.com. That's REPPSPORTS.com and use the promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout for 15% off your order. Or if you don't know what you want, go ahead and click the link that's in the description to get a $50 sample pack for free. All you do is you cover the cost of shipping. Again, make sure you use promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout to let them know that we sent you. All right, guys, welcome back. So we're going to be continuing our dive into throwback X-Men films from the Fox Studios. This week we're going to talk about X-Men Origins Wolverine, which is kind of a clusterfuck of a movie.
Yeah.
There are some things that are cool. There are some things that are not so cool. And then there's some fucking dumpster fires.
It was definitely the Ohio of the X-Men movies.
If that is the Ohio of the X-Men movies, then Dark Phoenix is definitely the Jacksonville, Florida of the X-Men films. Which I guess, does that make X-Men 3, The Last Stand, like the New Jersey of X-Men films?
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie's had some promise, and you're like, oh, this will be fun, and then you see it and you're like, I am underwhelmed.
The thing that one of the biggest things for me was, and I'm gonna shit on it, and then I'm gonna give it some good stuff too here. But,
yeah, because it did have some cool parts, and it tried, but it failed in big parts.
The cartoon fucking claws. Holy shit.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah, that was bad.
He's in the bathroom and he's like, shink, and you're like, that does not look real.
Yeah, that was bad.
At all.
Um,
So for those of you that don't know, it starts off, with Wolverine like realizing his powers.
little kid. He's a little kid.
The bone claws come out
Yep.
first. And you're like, this is gonna be cool. And then
Jimmy Howlett is his name.
yeah,
His real name.
James Howlett. Yeah, but as a child they called him Jimmy.
Yeah.
And I mean that part comes back into Logan later on. Like he starts going by the name James Howlett as an older man. But yeah, my fucking god, this movie, it like gets you excited and then lets you down, and then it gets you excited and then it lets you down.
It's like going to the strip club.
It's like the ultimate 2-hour long edging video that you never wanted.
Sorry, Mom.
I knew I would get you to say it once this episode.
Sorry, Nicole.
Yes, sorry, Mom, and Nicole on Jake's behalf, and mine. I'm just kidding. No.
Oh. Oh.
You weren't the first person to see me in Ohio. I'm just kidding. She's gonna be like, "Fuck your friend," but not in the fun way.
Moving on.
Yeah, that was. I feel bad about all that. None of that shit is
Moving
real.
on.
Yeah, like it starts off cool, and it's kind of like a montage of like Wolverine and Saber, who becomes Sabretooth.
They never call him Sabretooth in the movie, but it's Ray Donovan. What the fuck's his name? Liev Schreiber.
Yeah, Liev Schreiber.
Is it Liev Schreiber?
I think it's Liev. Live.
He's got that. Liev. He's got that Kim Basinger name. Is it Basinger? Basinger.
So,
Liev.
Pam. I think I can solve this whole Pam thing. It's Pam, but with 2 M's, so it's like a Pam. I heard about the fart.
Yeah, so we get Wolverine and Sabretooth. They're, I guess, like
like stepbrothers.
Yeah, something weird.
And it starts out before the Civil War, like earlier 1800s. And the montage is super cool because it shows them like fighting through the different American wars.
Yeah.
And how they just like don't age or die.
Fun fact, in the first Captain America movie, there was supposed to be a Wolverine cameo with Hugh Jackman while in World War II, but because of rights, they weren't able to do it. But it was written into the script originally.
That would have been so great. I wish that they could have done it.
Yeah.
So the overall premise of this movie was awesome. We get to see like the origins, the roots of.
Oh, is that where they got the name for it?
I don't think so. I think I made that up just now. But you get to see where like Wolverine comes from, how he gets the adamantium adhered to a skeleton, which literally adamantium is vibranium mixed with steel. That's about it.
Yeah.
It's like a hardened vibranium.
They introduced some characters. One of the big characters would be Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool.
And it started off so promising because, I mean, Ryan Reynolds was born to play Deadpool.
Yeah.
I mean, they even make jokes about it in the comics about
Deadpool. After he was Deadpool. Those comics came out after Ryan Reynolds played Deadpool.
Not the original one. They made jokes about it. It was in between Origins Wolverine and the first Deadpool movie.
So after Ryan Reynolds played Deadpool.
Yeah. After he played Wade Wilson. He didn't really play Deadpool in this movie because they fucking butchered him.
Yeah, but he was Deadpool.
Yeah, technically. By
They
movie
even call
credits
him
only.
Deadpool.
What's that?
They even call him Deadpool.
Yeah, in a throwaway line, and it's heartbreaking because
You trying to evade this situation.
Because I don't like to admit that he was Deadpool in this film. The only thing that's cool is like old throwback comics of Deadpool. Deadpool has way more mutant powers. And they tried to get some of those mutant powers into this movie, but they took away like the most important factor that made Deadpool Deadpool. And that he's the merc with a mouth. And they sewed his fucking mouth shut. That's like having Hugh Jackman play Wolverine without claws. He just has the hair and the weird shaved chin and just goes, ah, and then beats people up, but has no claws. Like, that's not Wolverine. And they basically bastardized Deadpool. But we did get Gambit, kind of. And we got the Blob, kind of. And we got Sabretooth, kind of. And we got the Weapon X program, kind of. It was like a half-baked fucking film.
Yeah.
They tried, and I was so excited. I even remember, like, being younger when the movie came out and being excited for it and then being like, oh.
I think what happened was that movie almost killed the franchise until they did First Class, and then First Class kind of revived it a bit.
Yeah, because after Last Stand, there was talks of doing like a Cyclops Origins and a Storm Origins, and Wolverine Origins just tanked and missed the mark and did not follow through on like the comic book accuracy that it needed to be an origin story. And it frustrated a lot of people, and they're like, yeah, we just won't do it. We'll just start over.
Yeah. I don't know what to say about it.
It was just frustrating. Like,
I enjoyed it. There were good things about it.
Yeah, there were good moments, but
they
overall,
do show where shut the fuck up, Chad.
Fine.
Shut up.
God.
Shut the fuck up. God damn.
I'm sorry.
I'm talking. Fucking. They do show how Wolverine lost his memory, which was awesome. They do show.
Made no sense as to how he lost his memory, but okay.
They do show his tie to Alkali Lake, which was a big thing in X-Men 2.
Yeah.
They do go deeper into his relationship with William Stryker, which was played by a different person in this movie, but they do go into that a little bit more. So there are parts of the movie that are good. The movie's not like the worst thing in the world. It's just the bad outweighed the good, in my opinion.
Absolutely. And like him losing his memory.
Yeah.
Like it takes an adamantium bullet, which he never had adamantium on his skeleton beforehand, but he was put to death by the army, by firing squad. You don't think that like bullets penetrated the skull and hit his brain from a fucking firing squad, like in the 40s or 60s?
Oh, I see what you're saying. I was like, what do you mean?
Like, he was shot in the head multiple times before he had a metal skeleton, but now because it has a special metal, it also has memory wiping abilities.
Yeah.
Like, it was a good attempt to explain why he lost his memory, but also that attempt in itself was a plot hole.
I guess, yeah.
I guess, yeah. It was. I mean,
Well,
for what
the
it was.
argument could be made that the trauma to like a head injury can like erase shit, and even though his like fucking cells regenerate or whatever, they wouldn't regenerate new memories or old memories. They would
Yeah, but
regenerate new ones.
wouldn't you think that like all the other times that it even shows in the opening montage him taking a fucking cannonball.
Hmm.
You don't think that any of those head injuries from the 1850s to 1980 never caused any sort of memory loss?
No, I believe I'm with you. I'm with you. We're on the
No,
same page here. I'm
I
just
know we
saying.
are. I'm coming across hostile, and I don't mean to
Yeah, you're
towards
kind of
you.
being a dick.
Yeah,
I'm just
clearly.
kidding. No, you're not.
No, but like, just for they had a potential way to explain it, but it was just bad writing. Is
Yeah,
really what it came down to,
yeah.
and it was frustrating.
It was very frustrating.
The action in it for its time, if you can get past the CGI, was awesome.
Hmm.
You know, it shows the Weapon X program as it developed, which was cool. It introduced, characters like we said, like Gambit and Blob and you know, Crap Pool
And
and Will I Am's character.
uh,
I always forget his name, but he can like teleport and stuff.
uh,
And then Pippin from fucking Lord of the Rings can like
mm,
turn on lights without electricity. And that was cool. But like they just
yeah.
really missed the mark.
I think the big thing for me with this movie that like really annoyed me was like the whole movie basically Sabretooth, Ray Donovan, or Thief
Yeah.
Shriver is like, I want to kill Wolverine. Let me kill Wolverine. And then at the end of the movie, he's like, hey, Wolverine, let's team up and kill Deadpool and be friends again. And it was like, oh, but why?
Yeah.
Like, it just didn't make sense. It
Basically
was
because
just
he
like,
found someone that was more powerful than his brother.
yeah, it was just like literally like they were fighting the whole movie, and then all of a sudden Deadpool shows up, and they're just like, oh, let's team up and fight this guy together. Oh, it was the bigger Jaws.
Yeah.
It's bigger Jaws. That's what it was. And this is what was my thing for bigger Jaws last time. It was King Kong.
Yeah, King Kong, yeah.
Versus Godzilla. It was just like, it's like, oh, we're gonna fight each other, and then it was like, if any of you know what I'm referencing, it's Family Guy. Peter comes up with this idea for a movie called Bigger Jaws, and it's basically Jaws attacking a boat, and a bigger Jaws shows up, and then Bigger Jaws looks at the people that he's trying to kill, and he goes, oh my god, it's Bigger Jaws. Now we have a common enemy, and we have to team up together and fight Bigger Jaws. And then Peter goes, yeah, Bigger Jaws.
Bigger Jaws. Yeah.
And that's what King Kong was, and that's what this kind of ending was too. It was like
Yeah.
they were fighting each other the whole movie. All of a sudden, Deadpool shows up, and they're like, oh my god, we have a common enemy.
It's a common plot to be added
Yeah.
to like movies where they only have 2/3 of a movie that makes sense.
Yeah.
And they're like, how do we redeem this character so that we can put him in another movie in the future?
Hmm.
And they're like, Bigger Jaws.
Bigger Jaws.
Bigger Jaws. So that's X-Men Origins. So
Yeah.
if you haven't seen it yet, and we
You just saw it.
You just saw it. It's you can just move on to the next one, which is probably the coolest Wolverine appearance, which is the Wolverine.
No,
No, the next one is First Class.
First Class.
You're right, but the Wolverine.
He does have a cameo in First Class.
He does.
Yeah, but we'll get to that
Yeah, we'll
in
get to
later
that.
episodes.
Probably next week because we don't have
Yeah.
much
Yeah.
moving forward.
We
Speaking
do
of,
want to. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
speaking of
I
moving
was gonna
forward.
do it, but you went.
oh yeah, you go for it.
No, you go for
Tell
it.
me to shut the fuck up. So speaking
Shut.
of moving forward, oh, you missed your cue.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Okay, Jake.
Uh, uh, speaking of moving forward, we did want to talk about some up very briefly. We want to talk about this coming weekend. We got Zack Schneider's Army of the Dead, starring Dave Bautista. Uh,
Looks
I'm
so
stoked.
cool.
I'm stoked about this movie. I think it's gonna be fucking phenomenal.
Even if
Not
the
like
story plays out terribly, it
yeah.
looks awesome, and
It's a zombie
it's gonna be
movie.
a fun zombie movie.
Here's the thing: Zack Schneider did Dawn of the Dead, the remake of Dawn of the Dead,
Yeah,
where they're trapped in the mall and shit. And
yeah.
that is one of my favorite zombie movies. And I am super excited to see the zombie movie.
Zack Snyder is one of the guys that can make a good zombie film.
Yeah.
It's just
And
fun and it's good and
and
it's done right.
and the cool thing about this movie is that it's not just a zombie movie, it's also a heist movie. These guys are
Yeah,
going to Las Vegas in the middle of a zombie like apocalypse basically to steal all the money that's like trapped in like Las Vegas Las Vegas? What's a Vegas? Las
uh,
Vegas vaults. I think this movie looks awesome. I can't wait to see it.
yeah. It looks awesome. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be brutal. You get Siegfried and Roy's zombie tigers,
Yeah, the tigers. Yeah, it's so
which is
cool.
gonna be wild. Um,
And it
plus,
looks like the zombies in this movie are not like your brain dead. They're like smart, like they can think.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that that's part of the premise based just from the trailers. Like they're like, oh, they're zombies. We can just sneak past them because they're fucking
Yes.
dead,
Yeah.
and they're organized,
Yep.
which is super rad. And then so that's next weekend, and then like a week and a half after that, we get Loki, which is now on Wednesdays instead of Fridays, which will be awesome.
Yeah, I love that.
So naturally, it's going to be heartbreaking because we release on Wednesday mornings.
Oh,
The day that Loki comes out, but we'll have
oh.
already recorded because we record a couple of days beforehand. But it is
That'll
what it
just,
is.
that'll just give you guys a week to catch up before we ruin the episode for
Yeah,
you.
so then we don't have to worry about spoilers nearly as much. And on top of that, though, also we did launch our Patreon a couple weeks ago. I'm going to keep plugging it until more and more people start subscribing to it. So if you like what we're doing, and you care about supporting us, want to throw $5 or more a month towards us so that we can keep doing these live stream episodes, traveling back and forth to hang out with each other, as well as get some exclusive merch that we won't release on our actual merch store, which we also launched. You can go to patreon.com/allthingsnerdpod. Maybe All Things Nerd Podcast. I don't remember. It's one of those two. The link is in the description for the episode, and it's on our website as well. Speaking of merch, we have some new merch coming. We have 2 new shirt designs, right, Jake?
Yep, we got 2 new ones. It'll be a gray shirt and a blue shirt. The gray one is going to be our Sorry Mom logo, which I don't know if anybody's seen that logo. We do have stickers that are on the Patreon site that Chad is talking about. And the other one is our Mustache Made t-shirt. It's our logo, our original logo with a mustache on it.
Instead of beards, yeah. And ironically, I made that, like, I switched up that logo before we actually shaved, and I was pretty close on
accurate.
on guessing. Yeah, I ended up with
Yeah.
a curly Q mustache, and Jake's
I
Hulk
ended up with
Hogan
a sexy
just,
one.
yeah, his is just a little bit shorter in real life than it is on the shirts. But for those shirts, I mean, from our past live stream, the people that won shirts for that one, we are giving a couple of those away. But if you purchase them from our web store, the profits for those shirts are going to go towards the suicide prevention as well. Because again, that's why we shaved our glorious beards into these sexy ass mustaches.
Mustache.
Well, Jake's is sexy. Mine is. I look like a deli worker that greets everyone as my friend.
I look like Borat, bro.
But you have the sun-kissed skin. That's my polite way of saying brown.
I'm brown. So we do wanna plug the suicide prevention thing again. You know, we'll put the links up on our website so you guys can donate. Please donate. You know, we're not going to see a penny of that. That's just going to be.
Yeah, we've depending on where you go to donate. If it's on Facebook, we'll see that people donated. But if you just donate from our website, Instagram, or just from our link tree, we won't even know who donated and who donated how much, because that's not the point. It's just to help people in need in times of personal crisis.
We also want to give Jerry Ma a giant shout out again, and what he's doing right now is, you know, his project he's working on right now is also fucking amazing, where he's doing his Kickstarter and he's giving money back to the community in New York that was affected, and I think it's pretty fucking cool. And if you guys want to donate to that as well, we're not asking for hundreds of dollars or anything, just what you can.
For $20, you can get an original or a first printing of his reimagination of the Monkey King that takes a beloved Chinese and just Asian in general tale of the Monkey King, and he reimagined it for modern day New York City, Chinatown. Where it's less about kung fu and armor and more about the actual morals behind the story. And the art is incredible.
It's great. I've
awesome
seen some
dude.
of it. I've been watching. I've been looking at a lot of it on Instagram because he's been posting about it on Instagram, and
it looks so
insane.
Good. It's cool, and I mean, they hit their base goal on the Kickstarter
and then their second
48
goal
hours
too.
They've hit a couple of their stretch goals since then, which means that anything that you give to get, you know, like a copy of the graphic novel, the comic, literally is just going back to small businesses in New York City that have been affected by COVID and so much more. So I mean, link for that is also in the bio. Also, just where you can find his artwork and some of his graphic tees, which are so rad.
Sick,
and I don't know if you guys haven't listened to the last episode, he is donating a few shirts to us to also give away to our Patreon listeners. So the next few,
and he designs these shirts himself.
That's where he makes his main living. So he's an independent comic book artist, but he's a graphic designer by trade. Once he sends us the shirts, we're gonna pick 3, because he's sending us 3 shirts to give away. We're just gonna pick 3 of our Patreon subscribers at random to get free shirts from Jerry. Which will be cool. So go subscribe there if you like what we're doing. Please give to the charity that's in the link below. And then also check out Jerry's Kickstarter also if you want to get a copy of the new Monkey King. Just gonna
all of that being said, we love you guys, and
Yeah.
You know, for those of you that are continuously listening to us, and for newcomers too, you know, uh, we
Thank you.
appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah, we
So,
do this. We do this anyways. So the fact that you guys listen is incredible, and it just makes our weeks and gives us something to look forward to. So yeah, like Jake was saying, we love you, and we're gonna close out. And go ahead, Jake. Go
I
ahead.
mean, go ahead, Jake.
Go
Huh?
ahead. The, this is.
This has been the All Things Nerd podcast. Cheers. I thought we were
Cheers,
just
guys.
gonna cheers out and
Oh yeah, sorry.
cheers.
Love you guys.